right, so there's new research that's fueling debate over an age-old question. Are we alone in the universe? Scientists published a study this month in Nature that shows water from one of Saturn's ice-covered moons contains phosphate. And the element is essential for living organisms. And its discovery means researchers have now found all 6 ingredients needed for life on the icy moon. It adds to the chance that there could be living beings outside Earth. The findings come on the heels of a Pentagon whistleblower's bombshell allegation to NewsNation that the government, U.S. government, has retrieved UFOs and already knows about alien life.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Joining us now, a man who knows a thing or two about space exploration, former NASA astronaut Mike Massimino. Mike, you've been in space twice. Your current job is where?
I'm on the faculty at Columbia University.
There you
Mechanical
go.
Engineering.
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
What'd you make of the whistleblower's comments and claims?
I don't know. I don't think it's very credible, honestly.
Why not?
Like, it just is, you need proof. If you're going to make an outlandish statement, or it would be a world-changing statement. If this was true, you need to back it up with some evidence, and there's absolutely no evidence. And that's what I would want to see. People can make claims, but to make such a claim, you need some real evidence. And there's none.
What do your colleagues say when you talk to them?
We say the same thing. He's
saying he's got the goods.
I'm not saying I do believe that there's life out there somewhere.
You do?
If you look, my missions with Hubble, I don't know where. We got to find it, or it's got to find us. But we haven't found each other yet. If you look at what the Hubble Space Telescope is showing us, the project that I worked on in my years as an astronaut, 2 flights there, there are billions of galaxies, Mike, with billions of stars in each one of those galaxies, and most of those stars have multiple planets orbiting around them. The chances are that there's some other type of life out there, some signs of it somewhere, I think are pretty high. But that doesn't mean we've been visited yet, or that we haven't found anything yet. And we're looking for more of the microbial life, or the combination of elements. That's legit. But these claims that we have these alien spaceships and all this, that's no. You got to come with some evidence of that. And until they do, it's just I don't believe a word of it.
Speaking of evidence, tell me what's going on Saturn right now.
So that's cool.
You like that, huh?
That one, because there's evidence there, right? So Cassini, which is a probe that went to Saturn a few years ago, they're still looking at all the data. And this one moon called Enceladus, this might not be as cool as like a UFO, but...
Is that it right there?
Yes, that's
okay,
Enceladus.
So tell me what we're looking at.
So that is a moon going around Saturn that has a frozen crust, but underneath that crust, it has oceans, right? So we think that life began in the oceans here on Earth, so there's an ocean there. And this newest discovery is that, as you said in the lead-in, that the final key element, the 6, the hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and sulfur.
A couple more. There we go.
And then you got phosphorus is what they found. So number 6 has just been found. Okay. So there could be the combination of things that could lead to life. Now that doesn't mean that there's ET walking around, but what it does mean is that and there's other places like this, like the moons of Jupiter as well, possibly under the surface of Mars, where there's the right combination of things that life as we know it might grow, but it would be like a microbial life.
I gotta run, but if there is life and it were to become something much bigger, like how long are you talking? Because you mentioned microbial right now.
Yeah, we're talking of really long time, and we might only find like evidence of fossil life or anything like that. Would be cool if we could find that. That would be outstanding. But we're talking still for that discovery. We're still talking, even if it's just microbial. We're maybe at least a decade or 2 away.
Speaking of cool, getting to talk to an astronaut is pretty cool. Mike Massimino, thanks for joining us.
Right,
appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.